I'm Tanya, 32.
The sunlight filters through the leaves of the oak tree in our backyard, casting a dappled pattern on the grass. I'm kneeling beside Lily, my 9-year-old daughter, as she carefully plants a marigold seedling. The gentle hum of a lawnmower from a neighboring yard fills the air, and the smell of freshly cut grass adds to the idyllic summer scene. It's hard to believe that just 6 months ago, my life was in a turmoil, constantly being pulled in different directions by my family. I remember that fateful Christmas Eve like it was yesterday. Our car was crawling through the thick Michigan snow, the headlights cutting through the white expanse. Next to me, Ryan, my husband who works as a fireman, reached over and squeezed my hand. His grip was firm against my shaking fingers. "You okay, Tanya?" he asked softly.
Ilid, fine.
I knew what awaited us at my parents' mansion in the suburbs. Their house was always a show, off, with its perfectly manicured lawn, even during the winter, and the elaborate Christmas decorations that probably cost a fortune. In the back seat, Lily and Max, my 7-year-old son, were clutching their homemade gifts. Lily had spent hours baking chocolate chip cookies, and Max had painstakingly drawn pictures of our family. As we pulled into the long driveway, I gently reminded them, Christmas isn't about expensive presents. It's about being together. Lily nodded seriously, her eyes full of wisdom beyond her years. Presents, not presents, she repeated, a family motto we'd adopted after Ryan's fire department cut back on overtime 3 months ago. My throat tightened as we got out of the car. The simple gifts in our hands felt like a heavy burden with each step towards the front door, which was adorned with a huge, expensive wreath. My mother, Diana, opened the door before we could ring the bell. She was dressed in a designer fur coat and diamond jewelry, surveying us with a tight, lipped smile that didn't reach her eyes. "There you are," she said, kissing my cheek. "Remember, we all agreed no gifts this year." A wave of relief washed over me. I'd been dreading this moment for weeks, worried that our financial struggles would be on full display. But then, just 20 minutes later, the front door burst open. My younger sister, Stacy, swept in like a hurricane, her husband, Victor, following with arms full of designer shopping bags. Their 2 teenage sons, Brandon and Dylan, trailed behind, each with the latest smartphones in their hands. Stacy announced, "We're here," as if her arrival was the highlight of the evening. Mom clapped her hands like a little girl and said, "You've arrived. Let's open gifts." It felt like a punch in the gut. I looked at Ryan and I could see his jaw clench slightly. Lily and Max emerged from the basement, confusion written all over their faces as they watched their cousins pile presents under the tree. I said quietly to Mom, "I thought we agreed no gifts." Dad, Robert, sighed dramatically. "Don't start, Tanya. You always take things too seriously." Stacy shot me a smug look and said, "Relax. It's Christmas. We just did what we could." Lily clutched her cookies tighter, the paper bag crinkling. The pride that had been in her eyes earlier faded away. Max inched closer to me and slipped his small hand into mine. Memories of all the times I'd sacrificed for Stacy came flooding back. When I was 16, I gave up a chance at a scholarship, winning art competitions so Stacy could go to a fashion camp. When I was 25, I co-signed for her luxury car loan when she had no credit history. And at 29, I had a small, budget wedding because Stacy might get engaged soon, and we shouldn't overshadow her. I decided right then and there that enough was enough. I helped the kids into their coats and announced, "We're going home early. The kids have schoolwork to do." Mom was genuinely shocked. "But we haven't even had dessert." I replied calmly, "You can enjoy our cookies. Merry Christmas." In the car, Max asked, "Are we poor, Mom?" Ryan and I exchanged a look through the rear view mirror. I reached back and squeezed his knee.
"No, honey.
We just believe some things are more important than stuff." That night, after the kids were asleep, I couldn't sleep. I went to the kitchen and opened my bank app on my laptop. I was stunned to find out how much money I'd been spending on my parents and Stacy over the years. There were monthly payments for my parents' country club membership, Stacy's spa treatments, and even her kids' private school fees. I opened a new spreadsheet and named it Reclaiming. Column by column, I documented every expense, every broken promise. And then, one by one, I started canceling subscriptions and removing authorized users. I severed the financial ties that had been binding me for so long. The next morning, my phone started buzzing like crazy. There were missed calls and texts from Mom, Dad, and Stacy. They were all angry, accusing me of being selfish and ungrateful. When they showed up at my door with the police later that day, I was ready. I showed them the spreadsheets, the evidence of all the money I'd spent on them. The police officer said it was a civil family matter and advised us to work it out. I told my parents firmly, "I appreciate all you've done for me, but I can't keep supporting you financially forever. I have my own family to take care of." They left in a huff, but for the first time in a long time, I felt free. In the following weeks, there were rumors spread by my family. People I barely knew called to ask if I was having a breakdown. But then, I also received support from some unexpected sources, like my Aunt Helen, who said, "Good for you, Tanya. I did the same thing years ago." As the winter recital for the kids approached, I was nervous. Mom texted me asking if they were still invited. I replied, "Yes, please come on time. No gifts, please." On the night of the recital, it was snowing gently. Lily was holding her flute nervously, and Max was bouncing on his toes, looking for his grandparents. Stacy and her family arrived first, and then my parents showed up, carrying gift bags despite my request. After the kids' amazing performances, Stacy tried to give the gifts to Lily and Max. I stepped in and said firmly, "We said no gifts, Stacy. Please respect that." She got angry and said I was punishing the kids, but I stood my ground. 3 days after the recital, my parents showed up unannounced again. Dad started ranting about all the sacrifices they'd made for me. But this time I was ready. I showed them the spreadsheets again, detailing all the financial contributions I'd made over the years and the disparities in holiday gifts between our families. I told them what needed to change. No more financial expectations, equal treatment for both families, respect for our boundaries, and no more unannounced visits. Dad sat down heavily on the couch, looking old and defeated. Mom nodded slowly, finally realizing the truth. Now, as I watch Lily plant the marigold, I feel a sense of peace. Our family has a new rhythm. We have a no-guilt budget that funds Lily's dance classes and Max's soccer lessons. Ryan is taking a course to become a fire safety instructor, which will boost his salary. The relationship with my parents is slowly mending. Mom called the other day to invite us fishing, just the 4 of us. And I'm learning that love without boundaries is not love at all. It's servitude. Real love allows everyone to stand on their own 2 feet.